Are you interested in making your serve more efficient, more effortless, so that you can get more power, increase your speed, get that consistency and accuracy that you want? Well, this video, I plan to help you out with that. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, former top 100 ATP player, and a lot of players and coaches call me the serve surgeon because I'm obsessed with breaking down the serve. And today we're going to talk about the dreaded low elbow. And we're also going to talk about this inefficiency that I see in a lot of swings. Now, quick story, I was working with a client one-on-one. We were doing actually a virtual program. I was working with him by watching videos, match play, watching his serve. And we noticed that with his serve, even though he has a decent serve for his age, he's in his mid-50s, he actually has a low elbow. And he does something that's quite common that I see with players. And what he does is he starts to make a pretty good first move. I'm really big on making a good first move and turning those shoulders. This looks pretty good at the beginning. And then what happens is when he starts to bring the racket up, the elbow decides to tuck down here. And this is very common with players that have a low elbow. So like I said, it almost looks like he's gonna be in a great position to elbow the enemy and to get into this trophy position like this. He makes the move and then he goes whoop, and then he's serving from here. And that's going to put a lot of stress on the arm, could contribute to elbow problems, shoulder problems, and there's a reason for this. Number one, it's obviously a technical inefficiency, not understanding the swing, but there also could be an inefficiency in the body. And as a racket fit instructor, we teach how to make that body tennis connection, or in this case, the body serve connection. So there could be a hip issue, there could be a shoulder limitation, but all sorts of compensations are happening in the body when you see someone serve from this position. And we want to give players corrective exercises, but we also want to help players with technique. So what do we do here? Well, as I mentioned, this player looks like they have a good shoulder turn in the beginning, and then they bring the elbow in like this. And then they reach up, but it's a little bit like a catapult type of swing. It's not a flowing, effortless swing. There's a lot of effort, and you're going to lose power. You're going to lose consistency, and like I said, you're going to increase the chance of injury if you serve this way. So like I said, what do we do? First of all, when we see this happens, a lot of times the grip isn't a true continental grip. It's towards a forehand grip. So anytime someone has a forehand grip, it's very difficult to get into this trophy position. You're going to see a lot of players, even if they turn in the beginning like this and flip like this, they flip the racket open because they want to push. They're going to push at the ball. They don't want to, but they're going to push at the ball with more of that forehand grip. So the elbow is tucked in now. Now the racket face opens. And that's another problem that we see, is we've got to keep this racket face closed. I call this a closed racket face right here with a continental grip. As soon as it opens up, you're going to get that low elbow to happen, okay? And then you're going to have a push type of a swing, and the consequence is you're not going to have a great racket drop. So the racket's going to only drop to about this position here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we have that continental grip. I suggest starting in a 3/4 swing. So start in this position, because a lot of times players start here and everything gets messed up starting in this position. The arms move at the wrong pace and in the wrong way. Now in this case, like I mentioned, this player actually moves pretty well from here, but I do still like the 3/4 serve. And then from here, you want to think about bending the elbow and turning the shoulders. And what we notice with the players that have that low elbow, where they bring the elbow in after that turn, is that even from this position, they start to do this here, and then they go whoop, and they flip it in, they tuck that elbow in like this. So my suggestion is to, if the 3/4 serve doesn't help, so I'll just show a quick example. 3/4 serve, bend the elbow. Okay, I'm elbowing the enemy. I wasn't focusing on making the serve there just because I was thinking about technique, but you start here and you bend the elbow and you get into that elbow position. If you still are faced with that low elbow doing that, the next thing to do is literally to start in more of a half motion like this, or even start with the racket up. And now the elbow is up, and do not let it drop in here. Do not let the racket face open. You have to keep it closed like this. So I like the racket. See how my elbow is up? Okay, That's how you can simplify the swing. We want to pretend that we're throwing a football or a baseball. You would never throw a football or a baseball from here. And that's where the serve gets complicated, because we're starting from here. We have all this extra motion, and then the elbow tucks in. You would never throw a ball from down here. So we start here with the serve, and we just practice keeping this elbow up. Again, this is the player that has the low elbow, not the high elbow. So we practice with this racket, with this arm up and this elbow up, and we pretend like we're throwing a ball. Now, another progression, and I'm just going to turn and face you right now, is serve into the side curtain or a side fence. So in this case, if you're trying to change technique, and I do this a lot with my clients and the players that I work with, is I make them serve into a fence, and I make them exaggerate their elbow almost feeling super high. So if the elbow is low, we need to exaggerate the elbow being high. So I'll have them serve into a fence, and they need to basically, they can start here or start here. I usually start them here. They need to elbow the enemy. Okay, but they're not worried about serving to the other side. As soon as you bring the court into play and making the serve, you're actually going to revert back to your old technique. So I recommend a lot of serving into a fence where there's no result that you have to deal with. Another little quick tip before we go today: practice this feeling with your eyes closed. So if my eyes are closed and I start here, I can toss the ball and try to find my trophy position with my eyes closed. Closing the eyes creates more awareness in the body. Okay, so to summarize today, in order to avoid this low elbow, or to even avoid this extra little motion right here where the racket flips open, you've got to get a Continental Grip. You've got to modify your serve, either 3/4 or half serve. You've got to pretend that you're throwing a baseball or a football so that you're elbowing the enemy. And then finally, serve into a fence or a side net and close those eyes to create that extra kinesthetic awareness. Now, I know I went on and on in today's lesson, but I wanted to deliver tons of value. I enjoyed making this lesson for you. If you can't tell already, I'm super passionate about helping tennis players all over the world. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. Again, feel free to leave a comment or question below about this video or any other videos. We'd love for you to spread the good word. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let us know you like the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and if you're still here, we got a free gift for you. 3 serve myths that most players are making. I don't want you to fall for these myths. Click the link in the description below or somewhere in this video, and we're going to help you out. Thanks so much for your time today. We'll see you at the next lesson.